Have you ever been in a relationship where it seemed like the only time your partner showed you any affection was when they wanted something? Here are a few signs a woman is using you. Sign number 1, conditional affection. You've probably noticed them acting cold and distant throughout the day. Yet as soon as it appears that there's something they need from you, they'll start acting sweet. It's a terrible feeling, isn't it? Unfortunately, it's a reality for many men. When a woman suddenly starts being nice and sweet towards you all of a sudden, in most cases, she has a game behind her mind. She is trying to use her niceness as a way to make you feel softer towards her. She doesn't do this because she cares. She does this because it's her way of gaining control over your mind. This reveals a deeper heart issue. Real love is sacrificial and constant, not dependent on gaining favors. As Colossians chapter 3 verse 12-14 describes, Christ-like love is patient, kind, humble, forgiving. It perseveres despite conditions. If you notice this pattern, bring it gently to their attention. Say something like, "I've noticed sometimes you only seem affectionate when you're asking me for something. It makes me feel like you don't really care about me as a person outside of what I can do for you. I know that's probably not your intention, but could we talk about how to build more consistent care and affection in our relationship?" Avoid attacking or assigning motive. Give them the benefit of doubt. The goal is to increase mutual understanding and grow together. With patience and honesty, God can transform insecure behaviors into healthy expressions of love. Sign number 2, taking you for granted. It's easy to fall into ruts in marriage where one partner does the lion's share of the giving. If your needs always take a back seat while yours are ignored, this reveals a lack of mutual value and respect. Let me give you an example. You've been in a relationship with someone for a while, and you always go out of your way to be accommodating and do things for them. But then, one day, you need something from them, and suddenly they're too busy or don't have the time. It's like they only care about you when it's convenient for them. This is a selfish behavior. No matter how nice or loving you are, you should never allow a woman make a fool out of you. There is a time to love and there is a time to set boundaries. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. God calls us to nurture oneness in marriage, being attentive to each other's needs and bearing one another's burdens. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 28-29. Make requests humbly, not demanding entitlement. Then explain lovingly how you feel taken for granted. Avoid blaming language and suggest practical ways to restore balance to the relationship. This may involve setting healthy boundaries about what you can and can't reasonably do, or scheduling regular check-ins to improve emotional and physical intimacy. As you draw closer to God together, He will renew your oneness. Sign number 3, self-centeredness. When you are in a relationship, it is important to make sure that both parties are satisfied and that their needs are being met. However, when a woman is using you, this is not the case. She is only focused on herself and her own needs, not taking into consideration that you also have pressing issues and needs. It can be frustrating to feel like you are always the one giving, but never receiving. When she only talks about herself and her problems but never asks about your life or your feelings, it can make you feel unimportant and undervalued. It's important to recognize that this is not a healthy behavior in a relationship, and it can lead to feelings of resentment and dissatisfaction. When your spouse fixates on themselves but doesn't show interest in your life, it breeds disconnection. You may start to feel unseen and unvalued. Philippians chapter 2 verse 4 reminds us to look not only to our own interests, but also to the interests of others. Pray for eyes to see your spouse through Jesus' lens of compassion. A marriage rooted in giving, not taking, will flourish. Sign number 4, physical intimacy as leverage. Sexual intimacy is a gift God created for marriage. But when it becomes transactional, it feels demeaning and coercive. This distorts the purpose of intimacy, which is total self-giving unity. If you notice physical affection becomes withdrawn when your partner doesn't get their way, or intensified when they want something, point this out gently but firmly. However, if you decline to give her what she wants, you may notice a change in her behavior. She may become less affectionate, cold, or even angry. This is a clear sign that her affection towards you is conditional, and she is only using you for her own benefit. This behavior is particularly harmful because it is using something that should be a symbol of love and intimacy as a tool for manipulation. This can create a feeling of distrust and damage the trust that has been built up in the relationship. Explain how it makes you feel manipulated, not loved. Then commit to creating intimacy only out of deep care and desire for oneness. Remember, a relationship should be a partnership where both parties feel valued and appreciated. Sign number 5. Testing your jealousy. Deliberately trying to arouse jealousy is a painful relational dynamic rooted in selfishness and insecurity. It inflicts emotional turmoil and breaks trust. Scripture warns strongly against provoking jealousy and causing strife through our actions. Don't let anyone, especially a manipulative woman, take that away from you. Stay true to yourself and your values, and you'll attract the right kind of partner who respects and appreciates you for who you are. If you notice this behavior, call it out in love. Clarify it feels disrespectful and manipulative. Ask them to refrain from relating to the opposite sex in questionable ways moving forward as you both protect the sanctity of marriage. Pray God would heal heart wounds driving their actions. In closing, no marriage is perfect. But humbly inviting God to expose and transform areas of brokenness allows Him to restore relationships to His divine design. Walk in grace toward your spouse and faith that the God who began a good work in you both will be faithful to complete it. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. If you love our videos, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel.